wait for the Old Republic has stretched on longer than that fight scene at the end of Revenge of the Sith, and tantalizing claims by BioWare that their signature storytelling would come to an MMO setting made the wait harder to deal with than, well, the end of Revenge of the Sith. Darth Vader. With such a prestigious developer working on a massive project set in a widely loved universe and tied to the acclaimed Knights of the Old Republic timeline, hopes for an epic adventure worthy of huge quantities of your time and at least some of your money have been high. Thankfully, these hopes weren't unfounded.
I've killed gangsters and Jedi Masters. 100-year-old Sith Lord won't be any different.
Do this for the Empire.
The Old Republic's art style sits somewhere between Mass Effect's Everything is Shiny Reflectathon and the exaggerated and colorful style of the Clone Wars animated show. It's not the prettiest game out there, but it is highly recognizable, and regularly references its source material in armor styles and settings. It's quite scalable, so as long as you don't mind turning down the settings, even a couple-year-old rig should be able to run the Old Republic. BioWare is better known for their storytelling than their visuals, and it's the story that sets the Old Republic apart from every other MMO out there. The setting, a tenuous post-war truce between the Empire and the Republic after the re-emergence of the Sith. The tenuous truce thing has been done to death, but it provides lots of opportunities for subterfuge and one-man army missions for the player. Fully voice-acted cinematics bookend almost every quest in the game, and build context for your actions. Branching conversation trees, and the ability to perform actions that can change the course of a questline allow you to feel as though you've made an impact in the galaxy, a task many other MMOs struggle with. And it's all excellently performed. The great majority of characters I met along my journey were interesting and believable, and expressed personality in just a few short sentences.
Bounty Hunter, you have our attention.
If an interactive story is what you love about gaming, then the Old Republic might be at the pinnacle of the enjoyment pyramid.
I want you dead, you sick filth.
If evolving, reactive, and challenging gameplay is what you're after, then the Old Republic might not be the droid that you're looking for. Although the story elements add a lot of context to the task of questing and leveling up, the quests themselves rarely deviate from the standard kill and collect MMO affair. The combat mechanics will also feel very familiar to veterans of other MMOs. The major differentiator, the removal of auto attack, frankly doesn't change a whole lot. It just means you'll be pressing an extra button. However, each of the 8 classes for both the Republic and the Empire factions are well designed and contain a good variety of abilities. Every class has the ability to pump out damage, and most can also heal or tank effectively if they choose. The way some classes share overlapping abilities means 2 characters might have very different techniques for the same ability. The result is an exciting mix of movement, positioning, and damaging abilities on every character. Every class has plenty of crowd control abilities at later levels, which makes combat against the AI a complicated version of rock, paper, scissors. Using these abilities against other players in PvP war zones is a hoot. The highlight here is Hutball, a lethal version of American football with fire traps and acid pools. The emphasis on teamwork and positioning here is unmatched by any other PvP map I've played to date. Flashpoints, instant and often heavily scripted encounters for small groups of players, provide a challenging outlet for group cooperation. The earliest Flashpoints seamlessly weave story elements into them, and while it would have been nice to see the same immersive elements in later Flashpoints, they still offer a taste, and a decent challenge and rewards for the effort. And while it may not be the best execution of a space shooter I've ever seen, the space missions allow for a good break from the main gameplay and provide some of the most spectacular visuals to be found in the Old Republic. What the Old Republic lacks in originality, it makes up for in quality, volume of content, and immersion. There's enough stuff to do here to keep most players hooked for months, and BioWare's storytelling techniques ensure there's a strong thread to follow right up to the level cap. Plus, the ability to change the path of a quest means even playing the same class storyline twice may not yield the same experience. It's not flawless, sure, but it's probably the strongest launch for an MMO to date. I'm excited to see where BioWare takes this over the next few years, because I think it'll be worth going along for the ride. For plenty more coverage on the Old Republic, head over to IGN.com.